If you want to learn how to use everyday items to defend yourself in the real world, stick around. What's going on, YouTube fam? This is Sifu Jimmy Manfredy here, coming at you once again for Street Kung Fu with my assistant, as always, Isaac Jones. And today we're going to touch on a very interesting subject. I was asked recently by someone, what can I use to defend myself in the real world as far as items? And it was a very, very, insightful question, and I figured I'd do a video about it. All right, now, it's a very broad spectrum. I'm only gonna show a couple of items here, a couple everyday items, some that you will probably be already carrying with you every day, everywhere you go. Maybe a couple of them can be in your office space, just in case somebody attacks you at an office, in your house, if somebody kind of is messing with you in your house or whatever. I mean, realistically, you can pretty much find weapons in every scenario you can come across, but I'm only going to give you a handful. All right, so the first one is going to be the easiest one. All right, everybody walks around with keys. Okay, I personally, every set of keys I have, has a lanyard attached to it, and whether it's a couple keys or a whole bunch of keys, we always have keys with us. Okay, now even if it's a keychain kind of like that. All right, notice how it has that little grip right there where you can swing it. That is what I prefer. Okay, people will have opinions on this everywhere you go, but my personal opinion, I would rather have keys on a lanyard, okay, or if I've got to have a smaller set of anything, make sure it's something you can grip, either by putting your finger through it, okay, either your thumb or two fingers like that or something that you can swing it, okay. Now the reason why, again, for the lanyard, you just heard me say it, I want to swing it. All right, most people will tell you, put a key in between your finger. It's not going to work. Okay, can it work? Yes. Will it work 100% of the time? No. If I put a key in my finger here and I push on them, do you really feel that? Right?
Stings, but
right? Gave him a sting. I mean, that's not gonna pierce much. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but that's not protruding that far past my fingers. Or put in between that finger, whatever. All right. If I go for the eye or something, I mean, think about it. You're in a self-defense scenario. You're not in a toe-to-toe fight sitting there. So it's not like you're going, hi, and you're aiming perfectly. This is self-defense, so you're panicking. You're caught off guard. You're in a scenario where you're defending yourself. Hello. All right? So if I put that between my fingers or whatever, two things. The first one, we've already proved. I just punched them, didn't punch them super hard, but I punched them in the chest with it. Stung a little bit. Okay? The harder you punch him, it's not going to make it pierce through his body and get to his heart or something, or his lungs or something. That's, it's not just going to happen. Can you scratch with it? Yes, that's actually what I would recommend you using that for, more for scratching. I wouldn't even put it between your knuckles like that. I would actually grip it this way, and for getting in close, if somebody grabs you and scratching like you're trying to scratch through something. Now, again, I'd prefer to have the lanyard. All right, with a lanyard, I never use the lanyard for what they're actually for, which is putting it around my neck. Okay, I don't do that, because guess what happens? He grabs that, I'm stuck. Okay, I usually will have it hanging in my pocket. You know what I mean? I'll have it in my hand. If I have it in my hand, I usually have my thumb in it and I have it wrapped like that. Okay, and I'm just kind of like walking around like this, messing with it, playing around with it, doing stuff like this. All right, everyday movement, nobody's the wiser. Self-defense moment comes in, somebody comes in, grabs me. Even if he grabs me like this, look, I can swing this thing up and hit him with it. Okay, so let's do it from this end with just a strap. That way I don't hurt Isaac with the keys. If I do this, look, boom, he's hit, look, he's hit. Now picture that with these keys. And for those of you who have like almost janitor style keys hanging from your lanyard, that's a lot of key, metal pieces that are gonna hit him in the face. Super hard, especially you got it like this. This is like swinging a freaking mace. You know what I mean? Again, if it's a defense scenario and I back up and there's more than one, I'm gonna swing and swing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get as many people as I can to try to get away. Self-defense scenario. Do not confuse self-defense with fighting toe-to-toe with someone. Okay? We're not in a street fight here. We're, even though it's happening in the street, I'm being attacked. This is not two guys who got into an argument and be like, man, screw you, no, screw you, and start pushing back and forth. And, it's not a schoolyard fight. You're not going to be like, man, screw that, and start getting into that brawler mentality. You're not brawling. You're being taken off guard. You're defending yourself. You're trying to survive. You're doing what you need to do to get out of there and get home. That's the number one rule. Get home. Okay? So self-defense is just that. Defend yourself. Preserve your existence. Use this to make them feel pain so you can get away. Period. That's it. Get away. If you want to stand there, go toe-to-toe, after you get out of whatever situation real quick, and they hurt you, and God forbid, worse, at that point, I'm just going to look at you and say, you deserved it. Because you were foolish enough to stay there and compound the situation for yourself. All right, so don't do that. Be smart. Use these tools to get away, not to stand there and try to fight this person off. This isn't a movie. You're not going to survive this scenario if you get caught in it for too long. All right, so that's the first one. All right, keys, preferably on a lanyard. Hey, look, if it's not on a lanyard and you just got a bunch of keys in your hand, throw it right at his face and get out of there. Throw it as hard as you can. Bow! Get out of there. Okay, same goes with your phone. If you got a phone in your hand and you get it caught in a self-defense scenario, throw it at him. Hit him anywhere. Hit him in the face. Aim it at his groin. Hit him in his chest. It doesn't matter. It's going to hurt for a split second. Giving you enough time for them to have to recover. Then by that time you're running. Okay, getting out of there. All right. So that's the first one. The next one is common. Can be found anywhere. I usually carry one everywhere I go, which is a pen. Normal big pen. All right. Now, there's a bunch of wise tales or myths, per se, about defending yourself with a pen, okay? You are not Jason Bourne. Let's get that out of the way. Even though this is almost identical pen that he used, only a red version. All right, you're not Jason Bourne. You're not going to sit there, again, you're not a special agent. You're not going to do all that stuff. Even if you're a trained fighter with martial arts experience in your background, whether it's, Kali, Eskrima, whatever knife fighting system you have, you're not going to sit here and get into posture and do all these drills with this person, okay? It's not going to happen, all right? This is, again, self-defense. Honestly, you don't even need to take the cap off, all right? You don't even need to use a sharp end all the time, even though that's the end I would prefer, okay? I can use this blunt side to defend myself. This is not going to last forever. Let me emphasize that. This will last for 1, maybe 2 or 3 strikes. I always assume it's only going to last for 1, and if it lasts for more than that, then I use it till it doesn't last anymore, which again will be probably the second strike it might break. You know what I mean? But the first strike is usually the one that I'm always contemplating this is going to break on, these plastic big pens or any other kind of plastic pen, okay? With that said, what do you do with anything sharp? It's a stabbing tool, okay? Anything pointy, let me rephrase that. Anything pointy. It's a stabbing tool. Even if you use the blunt end, you still use it as a stabbing tool. So for instance, if he's got me in a choke or something, right? And I come up under his armpit, with the blunt side, okay, I come up under his armpit and push in, even doing it. Come here, look at the grimace on his face when I do this. Look at the.
I don't want to do it again.
You don't even want to do it again. Look at it. Look at the grimace. Look. You see what I mean? And that's the blunt end of the pen. Okay. Again, 1, maybe 2 strikes, maybe 2. You know, once he goes for that choke, I'm gonna jab this as hard as I can, right here in his arm. Like I'm going for the armpit, but it's going for like the side, right under the armpit. It hurts like hell under there when you do that. Okay, it's very soft tissue. You know, there's a bunch of nerve clusters in there. Now, I'm not saying this is, you know, pressure point fighting or anything like that. You're not aiming specifically for a specific pressure spot, whatever. You know, there's a bunch of nerve clusters there, but regardless of the fact this is a tiny little object, so when it gets in there, it's jabbing. If you've ever been jabbed by anything, it hurts, especially when it's in a soft tissue area that's not used to taking this kind of attention, okay? Now, if you do it with the other side, you know, either with the cap off or the cap on, the pain increases exponentially, okay? Now, that's with the plastic one. Now, there's different types of pens, okay? Here's another plastic pen, plastic quick pen. Works just as well, okay? I carry around a lot of metal ones. You know, these are metal pens. This is still a click pen, but it's made of metal. It's made of steel. I'm sorry, aluminum. This one's made of aluminum. I also have a bunch of tactical pens, you know, quote unquote tactical pens, where they're made of solid steel, you know. The pen portion is like any other pen. It's an inkwell with, you know, a spring and everything else, but the rest of it is a solid steel made for defense. Now, again, they're not knives, but they do have tips that if you thrust it hard enough, they're gonna break skin and possibly even go into the body, okay? Do I want to give you the assumption that this is a 100% get out of jail free card lifesaver? No, because again, you're in a self-defense situation. Combat is chaotic, whether it's, you know, combat sports, you know, military combat, police combat, training, whatever, self-defense combat, it's chaotic, and you've got to really, really, really make sense out of the chaos. That's it. And these are just tools, okay? You are the person wielding the tools. If you can't use them properly, you know, when it counts, then the tools are useless. So you've got to be the one doing it, okay? So pens. I love recommending pens. You can take pens anywhere. Again, plastic pens, they're going to last for 1, maybe 2, you know, on the wild end, maybe 3 strikes, okay, before they break. So keep that in your mind. You're not Jason Bourne. You're not going to sit there and completely dismantle somebody with a plastic big pen. This is to get you out of that situation and get you running. That way you can get somewhere safe, get to someone else who can help, possibly a law enforcement official or something, and that's it, okay? Metal pens, honestly, aluminum, and even those steel tactical pens, I'm gonna be honest with you, same thing, same principle. Think the same way. You know, never assume that this thing's gonna last forever, no matter what it's made of, okay? Get out of there. Do what you need to do to get out of there, okay? So self-defense items, you know, I get in here, a choke defense, as I said before, you know, come up under the center, grab here, go under the arm, jab. Go into the side, floating rib, jab, okay? Another one of my favorites, don't even have to do any of that. He's holding that. I go straight up the middle, go under his chin. You know, go to places that are going to make him get off you. That way you can run. It's not about, you know, putting him 6 feet under. It's not about killing your assailant, okay? They might be trying to do that to you. It's about surviving. It's not about thinking you're, you know, again, a movie star, Jason Bourne, you know, Jason Statham or somebody, or, you know, Scott Adkins or somebody. It's none of that. It's literally about getting this person off you and defend yourself. You hear me reiterating that a lot. It's because that's the key, okay? You can grab again, please. You know, you can come up same concept, and then jab in to a place like that and cause him to break his tension. Okay, again, I'm doing this nice and slow, not too much pressure, and pushing down. So a little closer for him. All right, so you come in right here, you come up under, you push into the crook of the arm. All right, other side, bring this down. All right, you come under, you just kind of do almost like you would do if it was a defense technique, right? But keep in mind, depending on the strength of the person, and they have so much tension, no matter how hard you hit this, could possibly not move, okay? No matter how hard you hit this, that person might not let go. So if you got something in your hand and you do that, right, and I come down like this, now I'm just gonna turn down into it and pull it down. You see what I mean? It hurts, it's jabbing, okay? So that's another self-defense tool, okay? Now, another unconventional one, this is something that can be found in your home, okay? So you're defending yourself, God forbid, you're defending yourself inside your home. You're scrambling to grab something, and for some reason, you know, the closest thing is a DVD, a Blu-ray, or even a video game like a PlayStation or Xbox disc, okay? Now, you know, people ask me all the time, how do I use this to defend myself? All right, do I put it in their mouth? You know, whatever, I come up under their throat, whatever. Yeah, it may be uncomfortable, but these flex, so they're gonna break. Now, that's the key part right there. They're gonna break, okay? So if you're defending yourself for whatever reason and you're scrambling and you gotta defend yourself, now mind you, this is something that, again, your life is in danger. This isn't like you and your friend having an argument defense, all right? This is your life being in danger. You're scrambling, trying to save your life. You know, you come in, you take it, you fold it, okay? Fold it until it breaks, or just fold it and grip it, right? And then hit them with it, right? As hard as you can. If it doesn't break, whatever. Just keep hitting them, digging into them. See what I mean? Ah, ha, ha. Ah, ha, ha, ha. See what I mean? Just grip it. Your goal is to actually try to break it, okay? If you can't break it, again, I'm gonna grab it, roll it in my hand, and grip it. If I cut my hand, the heck with it. I cut my hand. So the goal is to grip it, break it. If I can break it like that, okay, now look what I have. Sharp shards, okay? Now this is gonna get even more dangerous for him, all right? So if I poke him, and I poke him, it's gonna hurt. So if I grip it like that, as hard as I can, because I'm gripping it for dear life, as I do that bend, and I do that and it breaks while I'm doing any kind of stabbing motion, now I have a makeshift, you know, shank for all intents and purposes. You know what I mean? Shiv, shank, knife, whatever. You know, it's sharp. It's going to get in there and it's going to stab. Okay? So that's an unconventional, everyday item that's in your house. God forbid you ever have to use that, but guess what? Now you have something that you didn't think about before, all right, to defend yourself. Grab that DVD, game, whatever, and just, hey, get it to this point right here while you're defending yourself, break it, and just keep jabbing. Keep jabbing. I mean, come on, if they got you on the ground and you're tussling and it breaks like that and you put this in their face, their eye, you know, keep jabbing like that, you know, it's not comfortable, and I'm doing it nice and soft, and he doesn't like it, as you can tell. So imagine if I'm doing that super hard and I'm actually trying to like get them off me, and then I get it in there and I start pulling and dragging. You know, it's a defense tool. Again, this is not a I'm gonna kill you weapon. This is a defense weapon. This will maim. I'm gonna scar him, but this is not a I'm gonna kill you weapon. This is a I need to defend myself weapon. Period. Okay? So CD, DVD, whatever, you know, video game, self-defense tool, okay? Another one is everyday item, a magazine. You know, you've probably seen that in a bunch of movies. People roll up a magazine, start beating the crap out of somebody. Roll up a magazine, all right? If you've ever seen stick fighting or any kind of short weapon fighting or even knife fighting or whatever, short weapon. So all it is, you roll up a nice magazine, you know, See what I mean? I like beating on him. All right? But put your arm out for me. All right? Tighten it as hard as you can. Watch. Doesn't like it. All right? If I do that, he's there. If he punches, I start hitting. All right? Now, that's also somebody who's been trained. I can do a bunch of different things. I mean, he grabs me, and I got a magazine in my hand. It's still not rolled up. Okay? Here's what people don't understand. It's a magazine, right? It's not rolled up. Self-defense. Again, not a Jason Bourne movie. I didn't have the time to do this. Roll it up and be all ready for him. He rushes me and grabs me, and I've got this thing in my hand like this. He rushes me, he grabs me. Oh my God! Hit him in the groin with it. Slap him in the groin. Pow! While it's open like this. He's gonna, oh! Every guy's gonna do that. All right? He grabs me. Boom, he goes like this. I come up. I hit him there. You know? Boom. Is that fun?
No.
No. You see what I mean? You know, he does it again. Come up. Push. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't want him doing that stuff to me. Again, defense doesn't need to be rolled up. You just need to get a good grip. I mean, if it's a flimsy little, you know, if it was like a comic book, it'll still disorient enough for you to do something else. Okay? Again, not going to do the job for you. You have to use it to do the job. And you have to be realistic. You know, this is a nice, good magazine. It's a good magazine, got a little bit of thickness to it. You know, I go up, boom, catch him in the throat with it, go up under his chin. It's no different if I put my hand under his chin and pushed up. All right, I hit him in the groin with it. It's no different if I just backhanded him, pow. All right, if I hit him in the face with it, it's no different if I backhanded him or forehanded him. All right, so use a little bit of common sense with all of these tools. All of them, all right? You need to use common sense, even though you're reacting to someone being aggressive in an instant where you were off guard. Self-defense is literally that. You're defending yourself from a situation that took you by surprise. No matter the situation. It took you by surprise. You know, in the real world, guys, an assailant, bad guy, jerk, whatever you want to call them out there, all right? They control three things when it comes down to victimizing someone. All right? They control the time, the place, and the method of attack. All right? If they're going to attack you at 8 o'clock at night, they chose that in their mind. Oh, I'm going to attack somebody at 8 o'clock at night. They chose that. You didn't. You're not expecting it. Like, yeah, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to rob somebody, or, you know, I'm a God forbid, rape somebody, whatever. If that's their choice, whatever the crime they're about to commit, okay? They chose the time, all right? I'm going to do it in the Walmart parking lot. I'm going to catch somebody slipping in the Walmart parking lot at 8 o'clock. That's the time and the place. They chose that. You just happen to be a victim of circumstance when it comes down to the place and the time. They are not. They are premeditated. Okay? And then the method could be they hit you with a brick that they just found. They got a knife. They got a gun. They come up behind you, grab you, and slam you. You know, they hit you with whatever. You know, there's a ton of different scenarios of attack that they can use, that they can choose from, because they chose whatever method they're going to use to attack you. All right? Now you have to scramble to defend yourself against whatever method they chose, at the time that they chose, at the place that they chose. Okay? So keep that in mind always. All right? One of my pet peeves in this world is you come out of, you know, a Walmart, a Target, a store, or whatever stores in your area, major stores, or even a little store, and you're walking to your phone, you're walking to your car with your phone in your hand, looking down the whole time, in the middle of the night, going through the parking lot to get to your vehicle the whole time, not aware of your environment at all, other than looking for where your car is and then walking to it while you're looking at the phone or something, and then sitting in the car for about 2, 3, maybe 5 more minutes on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, sitting there waiting for longer, giving people who are choosing to do stuff like that more time to get done what they're planning. Okay? So that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Just be aware of your surroundings. I'm not saying don't do that stuff. Just be aware of your surroundings. If you're going to look at your phone, obviously look at your phone, look up, look around, scan the area consistently. Okay? So that's a magazine. All right? A book. This one's hardcover. You can use, soft cover too. But this one's hardcover. Warrior Wisdom. All right? Pick it up. All right? This is a great self-defense tool as well. All right? You can use it similar to the way you use the magazine. All right? Where I hit him with it. I hit him with it. I go up under with it. You know what I mean? If he's got me in a choke, I can come up under his elbow with it. You know what I mean? I can do a ton of different things with it, okay? Again, you're not John Wick in this one, if you've ever seen John Wick 3, okay? You can do the whole put it in the mouth, but let's be realistic, all right? You watch that movie, the guy was, he was a stuntman. He was prepared for that. All right? When you do this to somebody for real, you're breaking through their teeth. All right? You got to grip this nice and tight. Hit it with every ounce of energy you got. Break through their teeth. Okay? Before I waste that much energy, I'll put this in front of his face and hit it. Or I'll just hit him with it. Pow. Okay? Simplicity is the key to brilliance. This is a beautiful quote said by many people, but in the martial arts community said best by a legend in martial arts, which is Bruce Lee. Now, you can have a million opinions about Bruce Lee and any other martial artist in the world. Could have opinions about myself, about my opinions. At the end of the day, all we're doing is sharing knowledge. None of us believe we're the best in the world. We just train, and focus on what we're doing so we can stay safe. And if we've got something that you can benefit from, we share it. But Bruce Lee himself, which was said to him by his teacher, Ip Man, said, simplicity is the key to brilliance. Keep it simple. There's an age-old phrase, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Seriously, keep it simple. Any weapon, keep it simple. You don't need a million different techniques in order to defend yourself from one assailant doing one specific thing. I mean, yeah, he does a choke grab. I can do a ton of different things, do nice fancy stuff. But in reality, which one works the easiest? He grabs my neck, I push up on his chin, push him back. The simplest one. I don't need to go over and do all that stuff. Do I train it? Yeah, I still train every single thing I've ever been taught. Even though I know for a fact that some of those things in today's age could be a little outdated and might not work. But if it instinctually happens and it works, phenomenal. The reason why we train so many different things is because we want them to come out instinctually. We don't want to have to think about them. We want it to be instinct. We get put in a certain position, a certain scenario. Instinct should take over. Period. Okay? So if you don't want to go down the long path of learning martial arts, that takes years to, for dedicated martial artists to master, and all you want to learn is a few hand techniques to defend yourself against anything, or just to get you out of scenarios, just make sure that when you learn them, hammer them out. I'm talking about where you can do them with your eyes closed. You can do it in any scenario, any situation, you know, without thinking, okay? Because if you freeze, it's over, okay? So there has to be instinctual, all right? So a book, like I said, self-defense, hit him in the face, hit him in the groin, notice same areas of attack, okay? You can go and do a ton of other different techniques. You know, if he throws a punch and I make him hit this hard cover, it's gonna hurt. Even if it's a soft cover, but it's a thick one, he does that and I go, oh my God, pow. It's gonna hurt him a little bit. That hard cover is really gonna hurt him, especially if I'm coming towards it, you know, rock, meet heart place. You know what I mean? So books are really good if you're smart. You should like to read anyway. So you should have a ton of books. You know, I like carrying a lot of books around me all the time. Another thing would be an iPad. If you got an iPad or a tablet, any tablet or whatever, you know, it's about the size of a book. It can be used just like it. I mean, yeah, you might destroy the damn thing where it might not work anymore after that, but again, you're defending yourself. Which one would you rather give up? You want to give up your anywhere between $500 to $1,200, $1,500 iPad, or you want to be able to go buy another one because you're still around. Okay, it's your life. Don't worry about the item, worry about you. All right, if you're not here, you can't go buy another item. So keep that in mind. Now here's another one that it's kind of old school, but I guess I am old school because I just got this one. My family and I were out and about, and we took a walk down through Disney Springs, which is an area here in Florida. It's kind of almost like an outdoor mall, you know, but it's Disney oriented for people who can't like make it out to Disneyland or Disney World and stuff like that. So Disney Springs, and my daughter kind of fell in love with this fan, you know, and I reminded her that I have one that I've had pretty much almost all her life that my wife got me a long time ago because it had dragons on it, which is at home, so, or else I'd show you. All right, but it's a fan. I mean, anybody who's ever seen a kung fu movie or, you know, maybe a tournament of sorts where you've got people doing Chinese kung fu and they're doing fan forms and doing all that stuff, you know, doing fan forms and stuff like that, know that this can be beautifully done and it could be deadly as well. Again, anything can be deadly in the right hands, used the right way. I mean, come on, man. You can kill somebody with a toilet paper roll. Let's say for what it is. I'm gonna be real. I know it sounds exaggerated, but if you take the right amount of time, you know, obviously you'd have to be like almost incoherent for me to go and shove it down your throat or something. But just I know it sounds exaggerated, but you could kill somebody with pretty much anything, or you can injure somebody with pretty much anything in any room, you know. I was taught by my father and a bunch of other instructors that when I walk into a room, find 10 items I can use to defend myself with and as many exits as I can. That's kind of situational awareness, you know, do the same. So I'm ending this one with this fan because I figured I'd give you a little kung fu-y one to end up with, okay? So you take a fan like this. I like these plastic fans. I mean, you can get these things for, what, like $4 to $10, depending on where you get it. This one here was about $8.99. All right, it's Disney themed, but it's plastic, okay? It's got plastic reeds through it. And if you've ever listened to your teacher in elementary school give you that whole lecture of teamwork where they take a pencil and they break it because it's by itself, and then they give you a bunch of pencils and ask you to try to break it and you can't, it's kind of that same concept, okay? If I'm in a defense scenario and I've got something like this, I mean, these are plastic put together like this. They look like a stick or something, right? And again, I'm using the similar scenario of him grabbing my neck or something, just to make this simple. All right, he grabs my neck, same thing. I come up under here, hurt his elbow. I push down with this part in here, break the tension. I come up into the throat there, it hurts. I come down on the clavicle. See what I mean? You dig that sucker in right there at the clavicle, try to get behind it and just push down. Yeah, that's it. As you can see, he's like, it's still stinging. All right. Again, same thing. Hit him in the groin, hit him in the throat, hit him in the face. You know, this is a nice, good whack. Okay. If you put your arm out for me, all right. If you whack it, all right, with a loose hand, look, I can whack it. See what I mean? So if I do that to his face, it's gonna hurt real bad. His groin, his chest, you know, side of his neck. You know, it doesn't matter if, you know, if we get in here, I'm gonna be able to do something. You know, if he goes to reach to try to grab me, I can put it right there. It adds reach to my body. I can again get up under his arm, push in that same area that I was stabbed earlier with the pen. Okay, so it's unconventional. How many people are really walking around with a fan? Let's be honest. If you live in a hot state, or if it's the summertime, you know, a lot of people, believe it or not, walk around with fans. Some people have, you know, I know when we were in Georgia all the time, I go to Georgia a lot, like, because I work in Georgia doing other stuff like stunt work and stuff. When I'm in Georgia during the summer, just like in Florida, it's hot. I mean, it gets a lot cooler in the winter in Georgia than it does in Florida, but, you know, it gets hot. So when we're up there, you see people with those wooden fans, you know, the ones with the wooden sticks and stuff. I'll be honest with you, those are not these. You can still, like the pen, like I recommend with the pen, you can still use it once because it does have that little wooden stick. You know, so you can grab that stick and do something, but it's going to instantly break once it's done. But I'd walk around with my other one of these that I've had for years, you know, and it gets hot, man. I'll look like Fu Manchu on top of the mountain. I'll be there like this. People can laugh at me all they want. I'm keeping myself cool, and then I'm keeping myself safe. Unconventional tool. You know, I can carry this on a plane. You know, just like pens, I can carry pens on a plane, carry books on a plane. You know, it keeps you safe. You know, so a fan, very old school. But I mean, if you get out of your own head and don't worry about what other people think, you know, this is actually a good tool, especially if you live in a hot climate area like we do. You know, so, you know, I'm originally from New York. Coming down here, hey, it's hot compared to New York. You know, unless it's summertime. New York is summertime, you know, you fry an egg on a rooftop. But down here, it's warm all the time. Even when it's cold, it's still warm. You know, in the middle of the winter, I can walk outside with shorts on and a tank top. Just saying. So, and you know, and my house in Georgia too. So keep that in mind. So nice fan. You know, hit to get all fancy. All right. So unconventional self-defense tools. They can work. Do I recommend all of these tools? Yeah. For the scenario that you can get caught in, I recommend them all. All right. And more. There's so much more stuff that you can use to defend yourself, you know. And if I had forever and a day on this one video, we can go over it all. But for now, these handful are great. Okay. Definitely get your keys on a lanyard. Okay. Don't carry the lanyard around your neck. You know, like I said, keep it in your hand, put it in your pocket. That way you can get to it quick and just swing. All right, that's a swinging tool. Pens, again, you're not Jason Bourne. You're not going to stay there fighting a guy off for 10 minutes. That's a quick defense tool so you can get away just like the rest of these, all right? So keep yourself safe. Make sure you train it hard. These are defense methods, so train them hard with someone. And when I mean hard, I do not mean break your partner with these tools. I mean drill them over and over and over and over until it becomes second nature. That's the only way when you get caught in different scenarios to defend yourself. You know, put yourself in those scenarios so you can be comfortable. God forbid the day comes where you get caught in those scenarios for real. All right? So train it hard. Keep your mind open. If you have any questions, by all means, put it down in the comments. I always get back to people who comment. All right? Reach out to me. Ask questions. If there's something you'd like me to cover, let me know. We'll cover it. We'll give you our best opinion on whatever that subject is. All right? I do apologize for last week's not having a video. I have another student who's been in fight camp, getting ready for a fight this Saturday. Jaden Justice, which you guys have seen him before. He's about to jump in the ring on Saturday. And, you know, I've got him prepared. He's ready to go. So we were kind of focused last week intently on his training to have him prepared for that fight. All right, so wish him luck. And we will see you guys next time. Again, do not forget, do us a solid. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you are so inclined. Hit that bell notification so every time we upload, you know about it. And again, comment, interact. I love interactions, all right? Let's get us up above that 1,000 mark and above. That way more and more people can enjoy what we're trying to teach. Now, I mean, we're not trying to be, you know, famous by any means. We're just trying to share, all right? Trying to share and make sure knowledge is passed the right way. So whether you like what we have to say or not, by all means, comment. I love open dialogue. You know, if you have an opinion on it or even have a suggestion that I may not have even thought of, I love it. By all means, send it in. If you can make me see it in a different light, hey, I love getting tips from everywhere and then adjusting. That is literally what martial arts is about. You know what I mean? It's the constant evolution of this beautiful warlike study. All right? So like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Later.